guys and gals, and welcome to the Monday. What the hell is the date today? Today's the today's the 9th. Welcome to man. This thing is still crooked. Damn. I think the whole house is settling on the foundation or something. That's just crazy. And now it's too far to the right. Jeez, crime and Netley almighty. Jeez. Please help me. There we go. Now it's a little bit better. It's really kind of weird because since they made all these changes here a few months ago on the platform with doing live streams, and for some reason, whenever I go to set up one, I have to manually choose whether I want, profile or standard on the cameras. We used to be, if I had it set up this way, it would show my picture like this. And if I turned it this way, it'd show my picture like this. Now it don't do it manually, or it don't do it automatically anymore. You have to manually do it. So I have to start like this, and then when I hit start stream, then it tells me to rotate the screen. So yeah, just, jeez, criminy. Good morning, Tony. Hope you're doing good this morning. Oh, what a week. What a week. What a week. I'm just glad it's over. Now we're starting a brand new one. So, yeah. Of course, if you guys had the chance, you've seen my video from Saturday night at our beach bash. That was quite the interesting editing right there. I was really surprised that the sound came out as good, being way back away from the band and then right up against the speakers on both sides of them. Um, I was really surprised you could even understand the music and stuff. Of course, there was like 18 copyrights in there, so even if I ever get lucky enough to get the channel monetized, I'm just going to be paying their wages for the 18 different companies that claim that music. Even though free use laws in the country are supposed to cover um, bands that do cover songs. YouTube don't recognize it, so but that's okay. I don't care. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm glad. I don't remember if I told y'all last week, but the wife kind of got in trouble at work. I probably shouldn't talk about this just in case anybody from her work watches the channel. But 2.5 weeks ago, she went into work, and one of her coworkers was talking to her boss, and something was said about something going on in the in her place of business. And of course, my wife, being the sarcastic little turd that she is, um, she says, well, that really tweets my Twitter, and she did this. Are you seeing here? World's smallest violin. Anyway, the after everybody laughed about it and yada yada yada, um, the girl that was in the office filed a complaint with the people that handle complaints, and said that she was um, uh, tweaking her Twitters, and of course, being let me turn so you can see the distance here. she was actually supposedly tweaking her twitters and adjusting the volume on the radio, changing the channel, whatever the case, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, they said because of the camera's positioning being behind her, that yeah, she was suspended for um, well, it all came down to 8 days, which for the investigation, and then she was finally able to return to work last Tuesday, and which was the day after our last stream. So, needless to say, she got paid um, Monday, and yeah, that amazing check that's normally covers the house and food and utilities and stuff like that. But then got you know partially partially molested um, due to the tribal court insisting that not only does the state cover our daughter insurance and the birth father cover her insurance, but the mother also should. So there's about $200 a paycheck taken out, and then they took another um, almost $600 out for the week that she missed. So yeah, what's normally $1,800 or $1,600 paycheck was about $400. So we're going to try to do the impossible today. We were going to go to a meat market and try to fill up the freezer since it's almost empty. And with all that being said, we're not going to now. So that's been my last 2 weeks. I just found out um, yesterday, day before yesterday, I may not be going to Ghostorama. Um, for those of you that didn't know, our dear friend, Danny, his brand new truck went down, and then less than a week later, I think his wife's Jeep went down. So they actually had to go and get a. I guess they had to go and get a loan for a brand new, more reliable vehicle, and all the running. Because I mean, you got to understand. Here's. Now let me get my. Let me think. That's on that side. So okay, here is in the state of Michigan. We'll say the bottom of the screen right here is the Indiana-Michigan line. Here's Cassopolis where I'm at. Um, here's Kalamazoo, and here's Jackson, Michigan, where Ghostorama is going to be at. There will not be enough time on Saturday in the morning, since everything has to be set up and ready to roll at 10 a.m. There won't be enough time to make this hour trip down to me, hour plus, then hour plus trip back up to Kalamazoo, then hour and a half trip over to Jackson. So I may not be doing my speaking engagement at Ghostorama this year, because I don't know of anybody else from down this direction that's making that trip. So it's just been a bucket load of great news this last week or so, a couple of weeks. But the really cool thing about it is We got a real good investigation in. At least got our toesies wet with a real good investigation at the brewery last week. I was looking for an investigation last night, but with the one we had planned with Beach Bash going on this weekend, the girl that I was going to do her apartment was at Beach Bash both Saturday and or Friday and Saturday, and then she had to take care of her stuff that she'd normally take care of those 2 days on Sunday night. So hopefully next week we'll get another investigation. And of course, I've got a video coming out on Wednesday, a re-edited, rehashed version of the investigation at the Winchester. Yeah, I don't remember the name of the place now. The Winchester Mansion in Elkhart, Indiana. We actually done the investigation back in 2022. It was me. It was Helena from Wolf Haunts Paranormal. It was Amy from Mindless Adventures. It was Tommy amongst the Tombstones. It was Randy from Randy and his wife from Randy's Real Paranormal. And that was a pretty good investigation. I just helped the youngest clean out her freezers to make room for half a cow and brought home 100 or so pounds of meat, 25 of which is bacon. Wow. Yeah, we were really hoping for, even I've been putting in the extra hours to try to make sure that we had the money to go to the meat market. Since our local meat market shut down, they sold their property. They were looking for a bigger location, and that was like 6 months ago. And they have not announced a new opening, a new location, anything. Yet that line is bothering the padiddles out of me. That's a little bit straighter. Um, I'm looking at this line right here. But yeah, I've been putting in the extra hours, and then that stuff happened to her, and it was time to make that run, and it's like, oh, wow. Well, there's no reason to go and fill the freezers and stuff up if there's not going to be any electricity to keep it cold. So yeah, you've got to make your choice. The cats are really starting to look good though. I mean, we have onions up in the basket in the window. I mean, enough onion and hot sauce to cover up the taste of anything, I guess. So I already had 15 or so pounds of bacon. Oh, that's pretty cool though. At least you have all the goodies from her freezer to make room for that, half a cow. So plus what you already had there. So I mean that's a good thing. Oh, but yeah, weather's been nice and warm, been in the 80s for the last 2 or 3 days. Sadly enough, though, um, being in the 80s and me having to have the back door open at work, have the overhead vent or overhead hood sucking all the heat out, from all of the pilot lights that are constantly burning in there, which is what we have seven pilots that burn in there 24 hours a day. So that throws off enough heat in a closed up room. I got the fan turned on high. I got the door open going into the dining room from so all the ceiling fans blow in. And yeah, the humidity is killing the dough. that's You might as well be trying to pour Elmer's glue in your hand and roll it into a ball. It is just, it's been, yeah, it's been. Yeah, we gotta put the other half cow here. That's good. I know we were going to do it here a few years ago, before Grandma passed away. We were talking about going in and getting a whole cow with some friends of hers, and I don't know whatever came of that. I don't know. Nobody tells me anything. Y'all know that. We've talked about it. Some of you know it better than others because we've had like personal time here together. So, people who never worked with dough have no idea of how that shit reacts so differently from. Oh, I know. And it's really funny because, like, for the last 4 days I've gone in to do it, I've gone in different times of the day and night, anywhere between 10:30 at night and 6 o'clock in the morning. Um, I'll do, you know, 120 dough balls. Well, that goes into 6 different Cambros, which is usually about 20 dough balls per plastic Cambro. And I'll pull the first 3 out, and they'll just be sticky as all get out. I mean, I got to go wash my hands every 2 or 3 dough balls that I roll. I have to pour oil on my hands to um, keep the stuff from sticking to them. I got to pour oil all over my table where I roll them at. I finally get those done, go back and pull the next 3 Cambros out, and there's no issues with it. But it's all made at the same time. So why is there issues with the first 60 but not with the second 60? I don't know. It makes no sense why we have or I have the issues that I do. But I tried flouring my hands, but went to oil, then nonstick spray. Yeah, we don't have any nonstick spray, and the problem with the flour, that's the first thing the wife said to me is, why don't you flour the table and flour your hands? And with this dough recipe, when because I have to go through, like I said, I dump this stuff out of a Cambro, so it's about that thick, and it's probably that big of a square, and then I have to cut 250-ounce chunks off. I weigh them out on the scale, and I put them up. I line them up on the table, and then when I get all 3 chunks cut up and get them laid out, then I start from the very beginning and I start working my way across the table, rolling them into the 250-gram balls. And if you flour or get too much flour on this stuff, it won't, because you pick it up and you fold the edges in all the way around, and you put it on a table and you roll it into a perfect ball, and then you put it in the boxes to go on the rack, and it slowly expands out into a perfect circle because the bottom is sealed to itself. And of course, we lightly flour the boxes so the stuff don't stick, but it's already been sealed to itself and then set on the flour. And by having too much flour on the table and stuff like that, it won't seal to itself. So yeah, that's the issue I run into. So I started using the oil thing, and it seems to work a little better. But let's just say I love the summer, but I love it a lot more when the humidity levels start to drop come September. Fire didn't seem to work at all with mixes that are meant to rise. Yeah, exactly. But noodles and biscuits is the way to go. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely noodles and biscuits. Dumplings. I mean, dumpling in nothing but what? Flour, water, um, lard, uh, and then you like flour the hell out of your newspaper, roll out your dumpling dough, and then flour the hell out of the top of that. Which when you make beef and dumplings or chicken and dumplings or something, it's all that flour. When you drop those things into the boiling water one at a time, it's that gives it that nice white, creamy, gravy-like substance. So yeah, fat noodle. I gotta make some dumplings again sometime. It's just been so warm here the last week that we've not worried about eating much of hot anything. Um, Normally, I want to go with like broth or um, we eat the hell out of like ramen noodles and because it's got the noodles, it's got a little bit of flavor to it, it's got all that broth to drink and stuff afterwards. Chicken and noodles, beef and noodles. Um, the daughter is super excellent at making like egg drop soup and stuff like that. Um, that's just kind of been my thing lately is broths and soups and stuff like that. But it's been so hot here. Um, I mean, you take your shirt off when you start to eat, and you still manage to break a sweat sitting in front of a fan. Um, not much of a mood to eat. Actually, I take those 10 biscuits, split them in half, and cut them in dumplings. Oh yeah, see, I make handmade dumplings. To me, the biscuits just never tasted the same. And easier than mixing and rolling. No, yeah, it is a lot easier. But when I sit down and take the time to make something like dumplings or even noodles, yeah, okay. Well, when the wife makes chicken and noodles or something like that, uses the store bought egg noodles. Um, I want to sit down and eat that stuff and remember, when I was younger. To me, food is just emotional to me. That's all it is access to emotions of when grandma used to make chicken and dumplings, or when mom had come home after working all day, and or let me start that part over. When mom would get up an hour and a half earlier in the morning to make dumplings and roll them out on the table, or make noodles and roll them out so they dried out, um, and then come home after working 6, 7, 8 hours and make this stuff, boil the chicken, let the chicken cool, debone the chicken, put it back in the pot, start hand dropping, 150 dumplings into a stock pot. Um, that's that's the whole reason I go for the food thing is as a memory trigger, I guess is the thing. But yeah, same old, y'all. Not much has changed. I'm still working on the whole ghost aroma thing. You know, I'm on the schedule to um, talk, so I've got to try to get there. You know, I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens. Of course, that's coming up. Let me see. This is the 11th. Not this coming weekend, but next weekend. So yeah, I'll have to figure something out. So what have you been up to this week? It says we got 5 people in here watching. Tony's the only one talking. What have you been up to this week? I mean, besides cleaning out the daughter's freezer to make room for a beef. I mean, I know you've had some pretty decent weather. Been working on the truck, the Suburban, cleaning up the yard. Driving down to Missouri and checking out the property down there. Cleaned out the freezer. Well, I knew you had to do that. I wasn't counting that. I mean, that was pretty much a give me if you had to clean that out. You know, if you just happen to run across stuff, and as I mentioned, tie rod end on the truck. All right, you got that done. Good. Was hoping you would. I mean, you know, for some reason, the Midwest man has just been. We've been experiencing our July stuff here in June so far. It's only the beginning of the month, so I mean, what's the end of June? What's July and August going to be like? Yeah, I tossed 325-pound turkeys. Tossed 325-pound turkeys. Man, I wish you would have tossed those things into a box with some dry ice. I could live on turkey. I'm getting to the point where I frickin' hate chicken. It's the cheapest thing in the store nowadays. So that's what we've been living on is chicken like every other day, few days in a row, every day. But turkey, oh yeah, I would live on turkey. Don't forget, I'm the kind of guy that makes, you know, there might only be 4, 5, or 6 of us here on Thanksgiving. I'll get the biggest turkey I can find and cook that sucker up. So I got turkey to live on till Christmas. And then if the wife will let me, I'll get another turkey on Christmas. So I got it to eat till the middle of January. So, oh yeah, I'd live on turkey and noodles, turkey and dumplings, turkey sandwiches, turkey salad. They were too old, 3 to 5 years. Spice up chicken as if it is a turkey or a beef roast. What kind of spice do you use for turkey flavor? I've not found turkey flavor for chicken. I find poultry seasoning. It isn't perfect, but it does. Rosemary. Hmm. I'll have to try that next time. Well, it'll probably be chicken tonight. if we don't get to the damn market here, at least the store. We can't go to the market now. We don't have the money to go to the market. We'll have to go back up here to our local grocery store and hope and pray there's some good stuff in the manager specials. It's just not fiscally um, able to drive 35 minutes to the to the meat market now and 35 minutes back. So when you can only spend 50 or 60 bucks, when you're going to go in and spend 200 or 300 bucks, then yeah, it makes sense to do it. But salt and pepper, of course. Oh, goodness gracious sakes. Now, try this on for ironic. All week long, because I've been going in of an evening when she goes to work and, getting out of there at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. With the exception of 2 days, I had to go in there around 3, and I was walking out the door by like 8. Um, I've been sleeping in. I've been sleeping like a baby. I mean, getting 5, 6, 7 hours of sleep every day. Today, my day off, I laid down at 10:30 last night, sitting there watching TV with her. I finally crawled up in bed. I was up and in this bloody damn room at 1 a.m. this morning. And that was the third time I woke up. But it gave me plenty of time to look around this room and say, man, if I ever want to conduct a live interview or anything in this house, I'm going to have to do it out in the living room because I'm too embarrassed to have anybody in here because this place looks like a storage shed right now. So a whole bunch of this stuff is getting thrown out today. I would like to do another auction, but we don't have any reenactors in the group that come in and do the live streams with us. So yeah, it would be futile anyway. So a whole bunch of stuff is going to disappear. A whole bunch of old totes of old material and stuff since I can't sew anymore. Different outfits from different time periods or different genres. Trash got picked up today, so I'm going to have a nice, fat, empty trash bin. Best way I have found is to mix a generous amount of rosemary with softened butter and shove it in under the skin and bake. That is for a turkey, but should do well with a whole chicken. I'll try that. I will try that. Sorry, I've got an itch underneath the eye patch on my brow. Um, it's probably skin irritation. It's funny. This is a professional made medical eye patch. I wore this thing for like a month, and all of a sudden the foam on the inside of it started coming loose and falling down into my eye and stuff like that. So we took super glue and glued the foam back up where it's supposed to be, and ever since then it's been irritating the hell out of my eyebrow. So yeah, I would just go out and buy a new eye patch, but anywhere between $7 and $12 is just not possible. That's meals for 2 or 3 days. But yeah, things are definitely picking up for the other channel. I'm slowly moving all of our investigation videos from this channel over to that channel. We have got three, possibly four new investigations to go and do. One for sure. Another one I was approached the other night at the beach bash and told about. I need to get a hold of them and get something scheduled. I've got a house in Jones, Michigan to do. We will definitely be returning back up to the brewery as soon as I can afford to get new batteries, and because I need not only watch batteries, but I need triple A's and double A's and 9 volts. So as soon as I can get batteries and stuff, we'll be heading back up there to actually do a full investigation there. Um, but yeah, two more houses and possibly another business here in town. So that's four, possibly five investigations. So not too awful bad. Of course, when the stream is over this morning, I have to send the link from Saturday night's show with Blammo, the band that performed up here that I recorded. I have to send that link for that video, email it to the lead singer of the band, um, so he can take the video and put it on their website. So, oh goodness, man, you can see the sun coming out already. You guys, it's just wanting to creep in. There it is. It's starting to creep in through the blind and stuff, which is kind of funny because just what 45 minutes ago, I got a thunderstorm warning on my phone. It sure don't look thunderstormy out. Wait a second. Why is the sun coming up clear over here? It normally comes up over here. That's strange. Normally, when it comes up, it comes in and hits me right in the face, right here. And I have to lean clear up here to get any sun. That's, huh. You ever seen the earlier version of the Lone Ranger where the mask covers his whole face? I've never seen the earlier show versions, but I've seen pictures of the whole of the full mask. Yeah, as much trouble as I've had with this thing, I thought about taking one of my chrome masks. Let me show you this picture real quick. This is active display. Nobody cares. Get back down there. Um, I've been thinking about engineering my own mask or my own. See if I can find a picture of his face here. For those of you that are a little older and remember the video game Mortal Kombat. Yeah, I've where's my cord not cording? I've thought about engineering a Kano patch um, to and wearing that around because well it won't slip as much, and having that red glowing eye right here with the big silver mask that covers everything. Um, yeah, that's that. There's that Lone Ranger thing you was talking about. Of course, you know my um, the eye would probably be in, you know, like that paranormal green. Um, just because. But yep, still trying to keep up both channels, and you know, with the increase in time that I have to spend up at work, um, still trying to get videos with both channels. Of course, you know, we have one for this channel coming out tomorrow. I may have to change my upload schedule just a little bit to keep up with the extra demand on my time right now, and just fall into one video a week or something for both channels. Transferring them from, you know, this channel to the other channel isn't that hard. It's just time consuming. But you ever wait? What? Okay. I'm seeing messages pop up here on the side of the screen and trying to see if it's a new message down here. That's what it is. I have a few episodes, pretty lame. But some of the things were used in a later version with Clayton Moore. Really? Hmm. Yeah, like I said, I've not seen any of the versions. Mostly what I seen or what I have seen are still pictures um, from when it was a radio drama. When he would make like public appearances and stuff like that, and he had on like that full the full mask that so nobody could see exactly who it was. But I've not seen any of the live versions, the earliest live versions. Um, like the William Tell Overture. Yeah. But yeah, when it comes to the Kano uh, patch, I know what I want it to look like in my mind, but I don't know why. Something tells me if I sat down with no depth perception and a power tool, even if it is just a Dremel tool, um, and then trying to, you know, wire up the eye to glow and stuff like that. Something tells me I would look much more like the Phantom of the Opera, um, with all of his fingers band-aided up, um, then uh, yeah. So I'm probably Yeah, and then my luck, the way it goes with my wiring knowledge and stuff like that, I'd probably set my eyebrow and my eyelashes and stuff on fire when the little glowing eye short circuits and catches fire, and I'm trying to pull the mask off as it's melting to my skin there. So I probably won't mess with it. To be honest with you. Well, that's remotely cold now. That's what I get for sitting here drinking coffee for the last 7.5 hours. Um, maybe. That's close enough. Put that up on top to cool off. Good morning, Lady C. Hope you're doing good this morning. Hope the weather down in Texas has been treating you good. Seems like every bloody storm that we're getting up this way is uh, hitting Oklahoma and Texas and everything, and it's slowly working its way this way. Rains much more down that way, and I'm afraid there's not going to be a Texas anymore because it's going to flood. Survived the Deracho storm last night. Yeah, I hadn't even heard of it yet, but I've not watched any of my weather people yet this morning. So I'm sure when this is all over with and I'm working in a room and scanning videos to listen to while I'm doing it, um, I'm probably going to hear about it or see video footage from storm chasers. Man, that coffee's good this morning. Of course, it's 60 degrees already here in southwest Michigan. It's supposed to get up to, what, damn near 80 today, I think. Let me see here. What's this thing got to say? Um, Now 75. So not too far off. Flooding, severe weather, high winds, tornadoes. Power is still out. Sounds like Texas. I don't remember a lot from my 3.5 years down there, but I remember the storms. I remember being out in central Texas and up in north central Texas. Right, I mean, I was in Wichita Falls, up in north central Texas. Just right. I mean, we weren't a half a mile from the Red River, and we'd go over into Oklahoma all the time and watch tornadoes. And yeah, they're very unforgiving creatures. I learned a long time ago, whether you're religious or not, that tornadoes truly are the finger of God. There is nothing at all you can do to control them. Um, you just got to let them eat what they're going to eat and leave when they're done. They come out of nowhere, they go to nowhere, and just eat. So, 69, expected to be 75 today. I might get out and trim some trees. That's not far from where I'm at. Good citizen media, good morning. Hope you're doing good this morning. Up here, we just surviving. That's all we're doing. That's all we're doing. Going out doing our investigations. Um, of course, like I said, they're all posted over on the other channel. Let me see if I can type that in here real quick. No, 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 where's it at? Come on, Blindo the clown. Where's it at? Yeah, right there. Boom. Good morning, Mr. Squatch. Hope you're doing well, sir. Good citizen, that's all any of us can do. Just live the dream and try to survive. We were, me and the wife were actually talking earlier. I was saying early off we were going to go to the meat market today and pick up a bunch of stuff, but getting on the website, and looking at the prices for what we had to go, or well, we didn't have what we were originally planned on going, but with what limited finances we had, going and looking at their prices now compared to what they used to be, it don't even make. I mean, it's a 70-minute round trip, so it just didn't make any sense to go and spend that what little bit we had when we're going to get the same price at our one single only grocery store here in town. Um, if we go shopping in their manager specials, and you never know what's in the manager specials. It could be ground beef, it could be ribs, it could be chicken, it could be steaks, it could be nuggets, it could be 4 pound packs of pepper. You never know what they're going to put in there every day. So I mean, you literally got to be up there at like 10:30 or 11 o'clock and check the manager specials, then go back up at 1 or 2 o'clock and check them again to see, because they start off in the beef section, and then they do the chicken section, then they do the pork section, and so you just never know what they're going to throw up there at what time. So I got 85 and 99% humidity, but it's early. Oh, dude, we've been ungodly with our humidity. I was talking earlier about, hey, Ty, good to see you, buddy. I was talking earlier about going to work. I was normally going to work 4:30 in the morning and working, well, since our increase in production. Um, I've been staying there 5 or 6 hours, and the humidity level has been so high that the dough is just, you might as well be trying to pour Elmer's glue in your hand, a big pile of Elmer's glue, and roll it into a ball on the tabletop. It's that sticky. So I start going in 10:30 at night, 12:30 at night, when it's cooler, but the humidity is still so high, it's messing everything up. I walked to work at 12:30 at night the other night, and before I even got 3 blocks down the road to make my turn to go through town, my t-shirt was stuck to me. Um, and then when I got out of work, it was raining like crazy and even more humid. So I was soaked the whole time I was at work, and then soaked by the time I got back home. It's not very forgiving. So yeah, I agree. This humidity's just been terrible. I can't imagine what it's like down there where you live at, but it's uh, it's unforgiving up here. And I remember there was always a lot of humidity down south. I almost said down home, but I live up here now, so at least until something really, really, really sad happens to mom and pop, and my sister gets the bank account and I get the house and property down there in East Central Tennessee. So I think the side of beef is going to cost us $4 a pound. That's not bad. $4 a pound. It was more expensive than that a few years ago when we were going to get ours. Same here. About to release another new song. Bro, it's so humid here. My ringworm has jock itch. I'm about to get fed up with this long hair. I can't imagine you with long hair, Tony. I just, uh, I just can't imagine you with long hair. No matter, no matter how hard I try. I mean, looking all hippie and stuff like that. Peace, dude. You, you get a chance, Tony. You ought to take a real quick, and send it to me on Facebook Messenger. So, so I have that. It's just rolling through my head like crazy. What you look like with long hair. They make these things to hold hair back. Good morning, sis. Good to see you. Hope you're doing good this morning. Hope you guys are. Hope you guys are surviving the storms and stuff that are missing us now. Apparently, they were coming right up here and hitting Michigan, northern Indiana, and I guess now it's Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio, the Virginias. Mother Nature's just in a nasty mood this year. I can't figure out what's wrong with that girl. I am still sticking to the whole you give her a piece, give her some Midol, give her a bottle of Bullet. Maybe she'll calm down. Maybe she'll pass out on the couch or something like that and leave everybody alone for a little bit. I thought editing videos was tricky, not as bad as recording and ending music. Um, no, the one time that I thought about doing anything music related, the the music was the hardest part. Doing the video, I had all the experience I needed to do the video, but it was getting the music and everything to jog up with the video. Not to mention, at that time, I didn't have the right microphones, where now I do have studio microphones. So the music was the hardest part, was getting the vocals and the music to back properly together and tone up right without having a mixing board or anything to control the vocals and the music to make everything lock in right. So yeah, to me the music is so much more. Yeah. Haven't gotten many storms. Good morning, David. Good to see you, bud. Mixing music can be tricky. We'll be taking Jay to the doctor this afternoon. Not sure what's going on. What's you and you know you don't have to say anything on here if you don't want to. Jan, me and you have a more direct contact with each other. What's what's got you on the alert? You know how I am about you and Jay, so now you got me all kind of worried and stuff now. Mixing a drum kit was a learning experience in microphones. Um, I'm doing good. How you doing, Drew? All right, Jan. Sounds good. Um, I'm doing all right. You know, same same issues everybody else in this country's having. Is trying to take care of the house, take care of utilities, still put food in the house. Until the wife ran into her little issue, which I'm not going to repeat. You'll have to go back and watch the first 10, 12 minutes of the live stream. But she lost a week's worth of work, which took between $700 and $800 out of our checks this week. We were planning on going to the meat market with the prices of stuff. It just isn't going to make any, not be, I mean, it's not going to be responsible for us to make the 70-minute round trip and only be able to spend, 60, $70 instead of like the 200 or 300 we were going to spend, just to fill everything back up again. So, I mean, same old, same old, you know. I got investigations to do and no money for batteries and stuff for my equipment. Um, we done that investigation, and like I said, all this is over on the other channel, the Paranormal Papa Investigations. Um, but we done the investigation at the brewery last week, and that didn't last long at all because whatever was there was very hungry and wanted to eat the power in the 5 different devices that I needed to do any kind of investigation. So, I gotta get batteries and cigars. So yeah, things are gonna have to wait. Um, that's why I have somebody with experience with mixing and mastering music to put it all together. Always smart to have somebody. Sending prayers and love. I'm sending prayers and love to you, you know, and I'll probably be sending a lot more prayers and loves after we talk later. But definitely sending prayers and loves to you and Jay, uh, because yeah, I don't need nothing happening to my big brother. So yeah, definitely need to get him to the doctor. If things are not adding up, 2 and 2's not equaling 4, then you need to get him to a doctor quick and have them check him out. And who knows, he may just have to back off on the triathlons and stuff that he's been doing. All the jogging and running, and he may have to back off on his acrobatics a little bit. And You know, not so much tumbling. You know, it sucks when you hit 45 because you can't do the stuff you did at 35 anymore. So, and you tell him I said 45. It should make him giggle. Um, I hate working with dolls. My main recording deck is a standalone Fostex VF80. It's like a whole recording studio in one small package. See, I'd like to have a small sound mixer. I've seen them advertised, but psh, the money people are wanting for those bloody damn things. There's no way in hell I could ever, you know, consciously spend it. But yeah, I've been looking for one of the real small mixers I can set up here. Because, like I said, after we get off here today, I am completely gutting this room out, getting rid of a bunch of stuff, packing a bunch of stuff away, throwing out totefuls of old materials since I can't sew anymore, and putting things in totes and storing it in the closet. Um, this place looks terrible. I got a path. Uh, Everything that we took out of the house when Grandma passed away that we just can't throw away. Um, I got I've got the entire Louis L'Amour collection um, that was released several years ago. That Grandma used to have on her bookshelf. Her or I, neither one read Louis L'Amour. I've read them all anyway. I got them piled up in here. I probably got, um, geez, criminy. I probably got 150 VHS tapes, or not VHS, I'm sorry, discs that she had that she never watched because she didn't even have a disc player. Why she had an entire shelf of videos, I'll never understand it. Um, she's even got some very rare ones, some very rare Disney stuff and Song of the South with the original cover, stuff like that. Um, Pictures. So and it all got pushed in here. Go figure. This this place looks like um, trucker wars and storage wars exploded in my room. So yeah, I need to. Not to mention, I've got this 35-inch TV sitting up here that I used to use as a monitor. I don't have the right connection to hook it to this computer. So, yeah, no reason to have it up here. So, yeah, we'll be cleaning this room out today. I'm tired of looking at it. He's been walking a mile a day. Wow. I look up to Jay. You guys are family. Amen to that. Amen to that. I used to own a 4-sticks 4-track. He also has jury duty this week. So far, his number hasn't been called. Oh, wow. I used to be federal police officer, exempt from any jury duty. The, the VF80 has its own built-in 4 gig hard drive, virtual plug and play environments and effects, built-in CD burner, phantom power. You don't even need amps, just plug in the instruments and play. Wow. Yeah, that would really come in handy because I could probably plug the TV and stuff directly into the deck, and then plug the deck into the computer. So the problem with the TV, it's got the standard rectangular plug like your phone charger has, that plugs into the wall outlet, or plugs into the wall piece that goes into the outlet. It's got that USB connection to it, but the computer runs the weird little. It's kind of I don't even know how to describe it. It's like it's a rectangle, and then it comes to the center and goes up at an angle, and it's flat on top. That's what the kind of plug the computer has in it. So no, wait, let me rephrase that. The computer also has USB, so they both run the triangle, and the cord that I have to connect to the TV has USB on the TV end, but it's got that weird little thing on the other end, so it won't plug into the computer. So I constantly have to change the size of my screen display to be able to see what's on my screen. Like here, I've got it at 125%, but that puts four videos across my screen that are only about that big. So then I have to change it to 150%, that only puts two videos on my screen that's that big. So, I have to keep going back and forth. Um, Good morning, Santee. Good to see you. Hope you're doing good. Um, Hope all is well. Just same old, bro. Same old. But surviving. So I'm not going to complain about that. I still wake up every day. I'm still breathing. Um, I can still walk. I don't need anybody to go to the bathroom with me to um, help out. So yeah, I'm doing good. It's pretty old digital tech, but it still works. I want dials, buttons, and levers, old school mixers and equipment. The way I always looked at it when it comes to technology, especially, mixing boards and stuff like that, they don't really advance them any. They just change the appearance of them. And a lot of times the older stuff seems to be more user friendly than the newer stuff does. So, what they refer to as outdated. That's kind of like the Windows programs on our computer. I I loved I loved Windows Millennium. I liked Windows XP. I don't like the new stuff. Makes it too damn complicated for stupid people to use. King of the stupid people. Which is why for years I have referred to myself as a technotard. And I will continue to do that because I'm not getting any younger. Technology's not moving backwards. And I will continue to be a technotard, just technotardier every time. It's good to hear. Millennia was the worst Windows. XP is pretty okay. Millennium was actually the first Windows program I ever used, and it always worked good for me. I never had a complaint with it. Now XP was superior, but look how many years or how many revisions they did to Windows between Millennium and XP. And I went straight from Millennium to XP. It didn't give me any issues either. which this little computer that I use that I got from, Jared King, which was his original computer. This little computer is a Windows computer, and I don't even know what the user system is on this thing. But I don't do anything but keep track of the channels on here. I do all my editing on this little phone right here that you're seeing me in. That was my wife's old phone from 3 years ago. And it works great. It's been updated. Well, it's a Galaxy, I think it's a Galaxy S9. So if that tells you anything, works awesome for me. Took everything off of it we didn't need. I've got awesome storage. I've got good recording. I've got, you know, good video. Works great. Um, Windows 7 was okay. 8 was better. 8.1 was better still. You should have seen me trying to mix things on my laptop. Guess I gave up after a while and removed all the fake multi-track stuff. Windows 10 overly bloated, 11 is worse. I have a Windows 8 laptop that I'm going to play some old games on. That sounds fun. We don't even have gaming systems here. I have what games I need, I have on my phone. I've got Panda Pop. I've got, what is it? Words with Friends. I got a couple of slot games. Candy Crush. I got Candy Crush on there. Eight point one is the last one I truly beta tested for Microsoft. I started editing videos on my phone with some more to go before I got an HP 15 laptop. That's actually pretty cool. Ashley has the campus updated to Windows 10. Don't know if she's updated to 11 yet. See, when it comes to the updates with Windows, it seems like it does this. They get a good one, then they have three or four, or two or three bad ones. Then they get another good one, and then they have two or three really bad ones. And they get another good one and have two or three bad ones. I think I would have probably, I know what kind of a stickler Tony is for, you know, going through, we have talked a lot on here about his beta testing and stuff like that. And I think I would rather have 50 Tonys beta testing these new window programs other than these kids, like I know a few of them around here that test these things out, different games and stuff like that. And one likes it, one don't. This guy thinks the graphics is good, but the sound sucks. And this guy thinks the sound is good, but I want somebody that's going to check out the whole box. They're going to go through and check each individual thing. They're not just going to sit and play games on it and see if this does this or this does this. Or my editing laptop is Windows 11, and this one is Windows 10. Right now, I am testing out Windows Server 2022, but not beta. I'm trying to figure out if it will be better as a media server or Windows than Windows 10 or 11. Makes sense. Exactly. I think that's with a lot of the programs. The issue with me beta testing is that I don't use most of the extra features. Does anybody really? I mean, do a lot of people mess this for an older computer? This little computer's great, but it don't have. I mean, it's got a lot of features on it. I pulled up the pull up menu the other day because I was looking for pictures that I had saved from online onto the computer, and I was amazed how many things it had on it that I never, I don't even mess with. It just, I mean, it blew me away. All the extra features that are there on this program that a lot of people don't need to use. Mike works with Apple products on his campus. Both he and Ashley are gamers, so they're able to figure it out. Okay. I like XP better than 10 or 11. Let me see if I can figure this out real quick. Let me pop this puppy up here. Oh, hell, I got Candy Crush on this thing. Um, let me see here. Right there. So I'll pull that up. Oh, hell, it's white. I can't see this. Uh, what's it say? That say computer? Yeah, that says computer. Yep, it don't say anything on there about which Windows program is on there. Well, in earlier versions of Windows, you had to seek extras out and install them. Now that is entirely too much wrapped into Windows. Oh, now it's saying afternoon rain. Well, that's always nice. Oh, this is why I like working in the dark. I can see things a little better. And it's really amazing. And I never realized this. This must be a new feature of telephones, um, or at Facebook, I mean. If you look at my background on here, it's black. So when I turned on dark mode on this phone, it made it easier for me because even when I pull up um, the internet or something, it's white letters on black screen. Much easier for me to read with the glare. So I've not got that bright white screen and trying to pick out little black letters on it. On this device, if I try to do the same thing, it don't give you dark mode. There is no dark mode. So yeah, this is just strictly a camera. A camera, a recording device, and an editing program. That's all it is. You can go into the program feature section and shut a lot of it off, but you shouldn't have to. Good morning, Danny. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing good this morning. One of my friends had a collection of old computers from 8086 suitcases up to XP systems, and I got to play with them all when I was a kid. You know, I'm glad you mentioned that when you was a kid thing. One of the things that I wanted to talk about. Well, one of the things I wanted to mention um, during the stream, when I was up there recording the band Saturday night, Blammo, at our beach bash, and during the breaks between the sets, I had a chance to talk to the guys a little bit, and talk to different people in the crowd and stuff that were walking by and saying hi and stuff like that. We're talking about how much we loved the music from when we were young, and watching the people in my age group and just, you know, 5 years younger, 5 years older, out there dancing, especially towards the end of the night once the sun went down and it cooled down a little bit. And I got to thinking how lucky the people in my age group, the mid, the early to mid, let's say from 52 to 58, that 6 year period, 83 to, let's say 81 to 87. How lucky we were to grow up in that era. I was, and some of you guys will be familiar with what I'm about to mention, some of you won't. Let me see here real quick. I started out on Windows 3.1 and 3.11, then 95, 98, etc., etc. I started beta with them on 98. We had Wang 2000 units just typing the code. Old Windows 3.1, 386s are almost indestructible. 80 to 82. Well, the reason I said that, the reason the reason I mentioned, the 81 to 80, 87 area, my 7th and 8th through 12th grade. I was watching reactions this morning, to different songs, and a lot of 80s rock bands came up, and people who were professional singers or vocal coaches or whatever were doing these different reviews. And and like I said, some of you guys will remember this band. Some of you will have to look it up and listen to the song to understand. And please listen to the whole song if you do, because the end of it is what's truly amazing. The end of the video. An old band called Steelheart, and the song "Never Let You Go," an old rock ballad from the '80s. And I was watching this woman's face while because she's a professional vocal coach. She teaches people how to sing. And she was listening to this, watching the video to this song, and the lead singer of Steelheart hit a couple of notes that I think if she was standing up, she probably would have stumbled backwards in shock. He hit the first note, and her eyes got about this big around, and then he hit another high note, and she was talking about instructing her students how to almost hit what they refer to as the whistle tone. And then at the very end of the song, at the very end of the video, he actually surpassed the whistle tone. And this woman was floored. She said it shouldn't be humanly possible. But you could tell he had found a way to do it by listening to the music. And she was floored. She was done. She was, what do they call that? Gobblecocked. She was dumbfounded that he was able to do it. And I mean, her eyes were freaking saucers watching him hit these notes. I had trade in the truck while I still use the for your new Jeep, Danny. I love that Jeep. That thing looks absolutely amazing. Not to mention, as long as you and Eve have been together, damn it, you guys deserved a new car. You didn't deserve the new, payment that went with it, but you deserved that new car. And I'm sorry that your truck went down because you was really proud of your truck, but that Jeep just looks prettified. Well, I still use the command prompt in Windows fairly frequently. I do not ever want to revert to MS-DOS. Oh, God. 2017 Renegade. That's what it is. Yeah, that's sweet. You popped up to 2017, and we had to drop down to 2003. Everything started going wrong with the wife's Chevy that she had, that she got from Carvana. The human computer interface, other electrical issues. The blower didn't want to work half the time. The heater didn't want to work half the time. And she got a hold of them, and they said that, oh, what do you know? It's all out of warranty now. Just went out of warranty, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, whatever. So she said, screw it. Let them have it back. Quit making the payments on it. Let them come and get it. And, we got all her bling off of it she had put on it, all her little sparkly shit. And she got a 2003 Ford Explorer from one of her superiors. And it's the best running little car we ever had. That thing's super. What's in my pocket? I don't know why I stuck my hand in my pocket. These fingers are numb. I can't feel anything. Tommy Tommy Johansson does a cover of that song that is fantastic. I've never heard Tommy's version of it, along with a bunch of other covers. Zero Break 2. One day, then again, much like sleeping, I'll get a break when they throw the dirt on top of me, I guess. Um, take life for what it throws at you. You can either be a grouchy old bitch or you can smile and walk through the storm with your head held high. And I figure the water's up to about right here, so if it storms much more, I'm going to start to gurgle. But like I said, rest will come. Command prompt opens DOS window on Windows. But yeah, thank you, David, putting that up, by the way. I remember that song. I always tell the wife because, we have Pandora, we listen to a lot of rock music and um, classical rock and 80s rock and early and 90s rock. We have our little JBX or JBL speaker hanging out in the window. So whenever we're out there cooking or cleaning or something, we could be jamming some music. And I always tell her the one thing I feel that music is missing today is that personalization that we had in the 80s and 90s. The guitar solos, the the tones that a lot of these performers could hit, be it Steelheart, be it Damn Yankees, be it whoever. The guitar solos, Kiss's guitar solos, Ozzy Osbourne's guitar solos, ZZ Top's guitar solos. You're missing bands like Chicago that used to have a full horn section. Do you know? And this is a very little known piece of information, and I only got this from somebody, let's say, that was on a personal level with the band Chicago. They put them in a sound studio and they were recording a song, and the horn section hit a note so high you could put your hand on the window in the control room and you could feel the glass vibrate. They said that no other musician had ever made that glass vibrate, be it a guitar, be it whatever. Their horn section made the glass vibrate. If they could have got more volume and a little higher pitch, they probably could have cracked the glass in that studio. That's the stuff I feel like music is missing, is that heart that the musicians in that time period put in. I have an HP laptop. Love it. It's only 6 months old. Nice, nice. That's what I need to do is lay my hands on another something. Maybe I could finally do away with using the editing devices and stuff that I do. If I had something that was a little bit closer to plugging my recording devices into, downloading the stuff, making it work. Um, I need too many things. I need a bunch. I need batteries. I need a collection of frickin' batteries, man. I need new paranormal equipment. If I ever have any hope of submitting the videos, the quality of videos that they're wanting from me, to very possibly take our show on the road with a little bit of financial backing, like certain other people have, but honestly put out top quality, unmanipulated videos. Before I'm too old to enjoy doing it. Was a gift. Nice. Oh wow, Still Hard is playing Saturday, July 26th, 5 p.m. at the Beaver Dam Amphitheater in Kentucky. Nice. You should really check out Bandmade. They're very steeped in the 70s, 80s, 90s hard rock. Man, I'll tell you what, Danny. I had to go through. Trying to think when it was. It was probably 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I done our cemetery here in town, and the red tape that I had to jump through living in town to have them let me be out there because it's got posted open and close hours, and it's very strongly enforced. Since the VFW has a lot of pull and stuff in there, um, and a lot of our city officials live in that area right there on that road, so they can see lights and stuff out in the cemetery at night. The hurdles that I had to jump to get to stay in there at night after sunset was incredible. There are a lot of Olympic athletes that don't, lot of track and field stars that don't have to jump the hurdles that I had to get my big butt over just to go in there. And it's like I told them, you're not going to find any evidence that I've been there the next morning. But I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of cemeteries down this way. And, it's like I was telling Crystal last week or 2 weeks ago when I was talking to her. I want to, sometime this summer, get out to that old school that you and her found um, last fall, that you guys sent me pictures of and stuff that you went out there and checked out that day. I want to get out there and check that place out. I just get a feeling off it. You should really. Good morning. Good morning, Terry. Good to see you. Hope you're doing good. I know a guy for real who will let us in. He's now village manager in Mattawan. That's all I'm going to say. It's always nice to know a guy. Even if you know a guy that knows a guy that knows a guy that knows a girl that knows a guy, it's always nice to have somebody that you know. I'm still working on the 20th or 21st, bud. Um, Not looking real good, but I'm still working on it, trying to figure out how to at least get to your place. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Come up with $500 for a Uber. Oh, how's things out east, Terry? You guys getting any storms and stuff out there? We got a storm warning earlier. They were talking about, a couple hours, and this was a couple hours ago. And then the sun came out in the wrong place. It's still like way up there. normally comes up over here because you guys know most live streams hits me right in the face, like right across here. I got to come clear up here. Where's it at? Well, there's no beam now because it just went behind a cloud. Everything is uncooperative. Kids, spouses, family, pet. I get more cooperation out of my boss than I do, or out of my bosses than I do out of anything else. Paranormal equipment. Y'all need to watch that video. Y'all need to, you guys all need to go over to Paranormal Papa Investigations, our other channel, and check out that video of me and the wife attempting to do the Cassopolis Beer Company last week. To know that everything was looking good at the beginning, we were starting to get good EMF readings. We go back, we follow the breadcrumbs, we go back to the brew room, and the brand new 4-hour old batteries that I put in everything were either dead or you turn the devices on and they froze up. And I came back home and put brand new batteries in them and they're working just great. So, well, I put brand new batteries in what I had batteries for. But yeah, that was an experience. I'm trying to see if anyone is coming by you, still working on it. Yeah, I am too, bud. I am too. It's only a week and a half away, and yeah, starting to lose hope. But I'm working on it. Of course, I was really upset because for that investigation at the brewery, I made two EM pumps. I made an EM pump and I made an EM deck to put on opposite ends of the dining room, and they left all of our stuff alone. But when we got back in the brew room, which was where the main fire trucks, it was also where the fire pole was located that came down from the residences above. That's where everything got ate up, even though we had the deck and the pump running. So I do need to get with our Gearhead Supreme, Shane Feek, and you'll see him on some of Danny's videos and stuff, and see if he can help me increase the EM output of my deck and my pump. So definitely, get a technotard, a blind technotard with one numb hand trying to do electrical work, and it could be what's the word I'm looking for? Challenging, challenging. Every day it's been raining, cloudy, the sun come out right before it sets. We're about to get some rain here in Connecticut. We got the warning earlier that we were going to get that storm. Um, Let me see here. Attention display, Storm Prediction Center. Um, expected high UV levels. Like I said, we got that warning from Storm Prediction Center. Um, what, about 10 minutes till 8? And it said, rain starting in X number of minutes. I think it was like within the next 60 minutes or something. And then the sun came out. Now they're saying they changed it about what 15, 20 minutes ago, 25 minutes ago. And it says that isolated thunder showers, some severe, expected in the next 24 hours. So I don't even think the rain knows what it's doing. Just keep being you. Yeah, I love you too, Dan. I try. I try. I always try to keep that whatever will be kind of thing going with me. Everything happens for a reason. I personally, when the date was set for Ghostorama, and the little flyer came out telling where it was at, and the address and everything, the date. I sent that to a buttload of people. And, I let them know that I was going to be making an appearance. I was going to be speaking at the event. You know, that, you were going to be there, and Shane was going to be there, and different investigators were going to be there. I must have sent it out to 30 or 40 people. And out of those 30 or 40 people, like 18 or 20 of them didn't even know. They had either lost connection or something, or lost contact with, Facebook, or they weren't on Facebook anymore, or whatever. And I sent that little flyer out on Messenger and stuff. And um, most of them, I would say probably 16, 17, 18, um, put it on their calendar. Oh yeah, definitely we're going to be there. So we'll see. You know, um, might set up an event at Old Beacon Club, now called Azo, in September. Oh, I know you are, Danny. I know you are. I'm trying. Um, I'm trying to do it. I'm working, very diligently on doing it to relieve that stress from you. You know, I worry about you. I worry about your health. I worry about your wife. I worry about your daughter, your grandkids, and that stress on you is what I'm trying to alleviate by trying to, take care of things myself. I said something to the wife about it, and it's like, man, I wish you could have got those 2 days off. We could just make a weekend of it and drive over there early Saturday. But we know with everything that happened with her 2 weeks ago at work, she don't even have the PTO time now to take off to go over there. So, and for those of you that didn't know, and I was explaining this much earlier in the video, you'll have to go back to the beginning of the live stream to know what I'm talking about, because I'm not going to repeat it on here just in case, you know, uh, somebody from out there happens to glance at the stream, which they have been known to do. Um, because they like to monitor everything that involves their employees and their families, and yeah, how many times they take a poop in a day, and what color of socks they wear, and everything else. Because they are above the law. They are sovereign. They are above the law. Just like they don't got to follow labor laws or anything else. But anyway, um, she lost an entire week's worth of work, an entire week's worth of pay, and that just kind of put a damper on PTO time and income and everything. So, yeah. But she told me, she goes, it's a shame that you don't have your own car. Even if you are partially blind, as long as you're driving in the dark, you're good. Like, yeah, we want a blind dude driving down the highway. Like most of the people on the highways in Michigan drive now. Um, Trying to get in, worst case, and live you in at least. That's closer to you and easy to get you there. Need a 20-foot white cane. You ever seen the height poles on the front escort vehicle for an oversized load on a semi? They go up like 16 feet in the air to rub on any low um, overhangs, trees, bridges, stuff like that. Um, they need to. They need to. I need one of those poles that only about 5 foot high to make sure I don't, clip the roof on anything. And then I need to find one of those backup sensors that they put on vehicles and put it on the front of the vehicle. That way, as I start to, I'm driving down the road, I start to get too close to a vehicle, so it's going tick, 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 tick. So I'll know to back off. Yeah, pilot car. Thank you, me. I used to drive. I used to drive escort. Back when I could drive. I was always the tail car, but I knew the old man that drove the pilot vehicle. And he was hilarious. Good morning, Stephen. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing good. Exactly, Danny. Everybody else drives like they're blind. Why can't I? I mean, damn. Why do I want to be different? Just get you a Tesla? Yeah, like I want to be driving down the road and burst into flames or something. I was, you know, it's funny that you mentioned a Tesla. I was watching a field test, a video of a field test in a Tesla Cybertruck um, the other day, and they had a new Chevy truck, they had a Tesla Cybertruck, and they had a Hummer, and they were trying to go up this sand dune and break the ridge on the top, and the cyber this every time the Cybertruck tried like 5 times and could not even get halfway up the sand dune. Hummer was the same way. It would get about 3/4 the way up, and it'd start to back all the way back down. It'd start to go up again. It took it like 3 tries to break the ridge, and the new Chevy truck went right up the bloody sand dune and went over the top. It was hilarious watching this on road, off road Cybertruck try to go up that bloody thing and couldn't even make it to the halfway point. Kept backing back up. They'd gun it and get up there and slowly go back down. They'd gun it and get it up there, slowly go back down. I wouldn't own one of those things if somebody bloody gave it to me, paid for the plates and the insurance on it for 5 years. I wouldn't take it because number one, nobody out there going to want to buy it from me because I ain't going to drive it. That ain't the truck as much as the tire, or it is the tires. Michigan, man, what's up, Rob? Good to see you, bud. Good morning, everybody. And you must be talking about the cyber trash can. Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. You know, the indestructible, bulletproof um, fire trap. It's kind of like a mobile home with wheels, guaranteed sooner or later it's going to catch fire. You know. Yeah, I'm exactly the same way, Tony. I will not. I will not own an electric vehicle. It's not going to happen. They should call it fire truck instead of cyber truck. I know I've seen so many videos and heard so many stories of those things just catching fire. You know, one guy had just got his delivered. He hadn't had it a week yet. And uh, I guess he was in his house and all of a sudden he heard like fire trucks and stuff coming up his road, and he looked out the front door and there's his cyber truck parked out on the road engulfed in flames. They never did figure out what caused it. It's like, dude, seriously? I worked with electric forklifts and it was too often a pain in the ass. Yeah, most definitely. But all right, guys, y'all know my plans for the day. I am gutting this room and getting it straightened up, and I'm revamping the studio. We're going to change things around just a hair. I might even put this desk on a swivel platform or something before it's all said and done. So if I want to have the green screen at my back, I can do that. If I want to have this backdrop, I can do that. If I want to put the frickin' sun at my back, I can just spin the whole thing this way. But first, I got to start taking stuff out. You know, my wife and I see them driving around here. She will literally drive completely away from, so she don't have to be next to them on the road just in case it blows up. I knew there was some reason I liked your wife. I knew there was some reason I liked that girl. Oh, throw this up here one more time in case somebody has a box of batteries or crap that they want to send my way. Um, but yeah, I'm going to get to work in here and try to make it all pretty. You guys all take care. Danny, I am still working on it too, bro. Bro, we will figure something out some way or another if at all possible. I haven't missed a ghoster on me yet and don't plan on starting now. So, but you guys all take care. Have a good week. Think about me while I'm busting nut in here today, trying to get this place straightened up. Um, yep, love you too, bud. Take care, David. Take care, Tony. But you guys all have a good day. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. God bless you. God love you. I do. And I just winked behind my. I'm sorry. Can I wink left-eyed? Yep, I could. Okay. Y'all just take care, and we'll catch y'all later.